Okay, let's do 2x plus 6 equals 4 plus 3x plus 6. So starting with 2x plus 6 equals 4 plus 3x plus 6 okay. I can see on my right side that I can go ahead and combine my 6 with my 4 to make 10. Okay, and then we're going to start solving. So I'm going to start by wanting to get my x's all on one side. So I'm going to get rid of my 2 positive x's by adding 2 negatives. I'll add 2 negatives on my right side. So by adding 2 negatives, I can now eliminate those. And my 2 negatives eliminate 2 of my positives on the right side. So now I have 6 equals 10 plus x. So I need to get my x by itself. So I need to get rid of 10 positives. So I'm going to add 10 negatives. And we know once I add my 10 negatives, that's going to eliminate my 10 positives. So I'm going to delete those. But I have to add 10 negatives to my left side. So 6 of my negatives are going to cancel out my 6 positives, so I'll delete those. And I'm left with x, or negative 4 equals x, or I can write it as x equals negative 4. Okay, let's try negative 4x minus 5 minus 6x oops, hold on there, sorry, minus 6x minus 2 plus 3. Okay, so I can already tell that these 2 negatives will cancel out 2 of my positives. So I'm going to go ahead and eliminate those. I want to get my x's on one side. So I'm going to add 4 positive x's to get rid of my 4 negative x's. And I'll have to add 4 positives on my other side. So I know my 4 positives are going to cancel out my 4 negatives. And my 4 positives and my 4 negatives are going to cancel out as well. So I'm left with 2 negatives on the right side. So now I want to get my x's by themselves. So I'm going to add a negative to get rid of my positive and a negative on my left side. So that'll cancel out my positive. and this will cancel out one of my positives. So now I'm left with negative x equals 4. So on your tiles, what's really nice is you actually can flip your tiles over. So I actually can flip my negatives. You can actually flip your negatives over to positives. And I can actually flip my positives over, because we have to do the same thing on both sides, to negatives. So now I have 2x. I'm sorry, I wrote this down wrong before. It was 4 equals negative 2x. Now I have 4 equals positive 2x, or negative 4 equals positive 2x. So now I have positives, which is nice. And I can now group these up, and two negatives will go with each positive x. So that means x equals negative 2. Okay, so in the next one, I have gone ahead and built the model. So if you want to pause and make sure you build your model correctly, but we have negative x plus 3x minus 6 equals minus 3x, or negative 3x, minus 6. So my first step that I want to take care of is to go ahead and combine things that I can combine, or cancel things out that I can cancel out. So I know that this negative x is going to cancel out one positive x. So I'm going to go ahead and delete those. Oops. Okay, so I have 2x minus 6 equals negative 3x minus 6. So my next step is to get my x's onto one side. So I am going to eliminate my negative x's by adding 3 positive x's. So I'm also going to add my 3 positive x's to the other side. And then I'm going to get my x's by themselves. So I need to get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 negatives. So I'm going to add 6 positives, which will cancel out my 6 negatives. And I'm going to add 6 positives on the other side, which is also going to cancel out all my 6 on the other side. So we're going to cancel all of these out. And we're going to go ahead and cancel all of these out. So that means I have nothing on the other side to, so to go ahead and represent that, I'm going to write 0. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5x equals 0. So if I divide up my zeros evenly amongst my 5x's, I'm still going to have 0. So x equals 0. Okay, so that concludes our video for solving variables on both sides. Hopefully that helped. Go ahead and make sure that you can complete your lesson for today.